That's not good. Kitten, you can off, jackass.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Jac and Burnz show. My name is Jack Storm and my co-host.
And I'm John Burnz. Welcome.
So, right now we're just going to do a quick go over of Wrestlemania. We'll start with night one here. So
we opened with Vince looking like he had his face pinned back with a speech to open
the man's
the
like
night.
75 years old.
Yeah,
come on.
He clearly had some work done.
Well, yeah. Okay, so here's what I find interesting.
But I think his speech was good.
Here's what I find interesting. So the speech happened before the delay, correct?
Yes. Yeah. The first thing it opened to Vince on the stage with all the superstars. He did his speech, and then we went to the what was her name, BB whatever, who was singing "American the Beautiful."
Right. My point though is
then they were rained out.
This was the first WrestleMania in front of fans since the pandemic started.
Yeah.
Whoever was gonna open this show in front of those fans. So. Also, I'm gonna point out the fact that for the first time in I don't know how long I can remember, there was no match on the kickoff show.
Okay.
They may say it was rain delay, but I believe it was on purpose because who gets the first big pop of fans being back in the arena for the first time in over a year? Is it a wrestler or is it Vince McMahon?
Vince
McMahon. Yeah, so that was by design. No match on the kickoff. He wanted the first performer to be seen in front of fans again and get that first loud pop the fans are going to give no matter what, because it's the first time they've been in attendance in this long. Vince took that pop.
Yeah.
Now, about the rain delay, I have to say that some of those promos that they went to backstage were better than those wrestlers normally would do, and that's because they were all unscripted. They weren't planned. So they should do something like that a little more often, I think.
Well, there shouldn't be scripting every word. That's why the old wrestling was easier to watch than this.
Well, obviously. But, we could always check into the company with the unscripted wrestling and see if it's really any better. That company being AEW.
Well, Jericho would have us believe that it is.
Of course, Jericho's in it.
But Jericho would have us believe he's the greatest wrestler of all time, but he doesn't actually think that he is. But
all right, so I guess we should get on with the show here. So 45 minutes or so, maybe a half hour. How long would you say that delay was?
It was somewhere, I'd say, closer to the half hour than 45 minutes.
All right. So, we open the show with Vince.
Yeah.
We get this weather delay, which supposedly delays our first match.
And then we come back.
Do we get the match?
Well, first we gotta see Hogan come out.
Wasting time. You guys just came off of a half-hour weather delay. I think you could have skipped Hogan and Titus coming out.
And Hogan, like, sounding vaguely racist.
Well, that's a whole nother topic we might have to do a full show on. Anyhow, let's just skim through this quickly here because, like,
Yeah,
I don't know.
first match, Drew McIntyre versus Bobby Lashley.
Now, that was a decent little match. Quick, short, and even though I expected McIntyre to win, Lashley kept the title, and that was the right decision.
And they both gave it a good match.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was a good little opener. After that, now, I'm not going to go through every backstage scene we see. We're going to waste our time doing that. But I do want to make a point of Bayley interrupting Titus and Hogan.
Ding
every
dong.
chance she got. Yeah. She'd been going on social media about one way or another finding her way onto WrestleMania, and I guess she managed. There you go. But anyways, so we have the tag team turmoil match for number one contenders for the women's tag title on night 2. And yeah, who cares?
Pretty much.
This was not a good match at all. There was botches. There was Mandy Rose slipping on the way to the ring, which is now a storyline, by the way, but we'll get into that later.
Yeah, and I don't know.
However,
I think the best part of that match was the first match in the.
I'd say the best part of the match was the end because the right people won it.
Well, yeah, but I mean, as far as like an actual wrestling match going on, I think Lana and Naomi versus Billie Kay and Carmella to kick that match off was better than the way some of the other matches went throughout it.
I can agree. That was a good match. The whole concept I didn't like to begin with, and not something I think they should have done on WrestleMania. They should have done that
leading
so,
up to
yeah, okay.
it. Yeah.
Let's say it now. We didn't watch SmackDown the night before this because they put the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal on SmackDown, which I didn't want to watch. Who cares? No offense to Andre, but who cares? But also, they had a Fatal 4-Way match for the SmackDown tag titles, which Dolph Ziggler and Bobby Roode won and kept their titles, but why could they not have put that on night 1? And the women's tag team turmoil match could have been on SmackDown. That would have been a better better WrestleMania match, in my opinion. Not that I watched the match, but from what I've read in the results, it was a good match on SmackDown.
Yeah.
Anyways, so moving on. Next match, we get
Rollins and Cesaro.
And I was actually looking forward to this one.
Yeah, I think this was a good match.
It was a good match, and a couple of highlights was Cesaro breaking his swing record by 1.
Yeah.
Which I'm hoping that we see that go up gradually, 1 or 2 at a time for a little while. But also,
that'd be kind of cool. Get it up to 43 swings or something.
I noticed that so he did the spin where he didn't use his hands, and they called it a UFO or something. Well, this I didn't know. Supposedly, one of his moves he did on the Indies that he's never done in WWE since he joined or signed there, 10 years ago? So fans of his specifically made sure to mention the fact that it was nice to see him do that move on WWE television finally, 'cause I didn't realize it was a move that he did or didn't do. Okay. So that was an interesting one.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah, well, that was on mine after I didn't know. I seen people talking about it. So, but Cesaro picked up the win in that match, so that was good. Like I said, a decent little match. Kind of finally, I mean,
it was, well, I think any match was really going to be good after that women's match. It went on too long.
That did go on too long. They WrestleMania whether it's a 1-night or a 2-night event, is already too long. And them turning it into a 2-night event just meant they could have 2 5-hour. I mean, we can't blame them this time. Weather delay.
I mean, yeah. The weather delay wasn't that long.
No.
And it could have been worse.
No, but even a half-hour weather delay on a show that usually runs 5, 6, 7 hours. Don't forget, we didn't watch the kickoff show. People who did.
That's true.
That's another hour on there. And they did a kickoff show over both nights.
Yeah.
Like, and same with TakeOver, which we didn't watch, although there were matches on those ones. However, after this match was another match I was kind of looking forward to, because I wanted to see Omos in his debut.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a pretty good match. When Omos finally got in and took over, he took over, just like a guy his size should do.
And it was nice to see Big E come out with the New Day again.
Yeah, that's true, yeah. But also, I think maybe...
So there we go. There's another live entrance for the New Day.
Oh, of course. Yeah, but they didn't have anyone perform their music or anything like that.
Well, they had their audio performed live again.
The highlight for me in this match was the expressions on Woods and Kingston's face when Omos finally got in. They were scared shitless of this guy.
Yeah. He's huge.
Yeah, he is. And he can move for his size.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to expect because he's not one that we've ever seen do much.
I would like to see him standing next to Shaq.
Shaq's with AEW. That's never going to happen.
Well, don't say never.
Okay,
someday
how about
in the
this?
future.
I would like to see Omos and Strowman, who, by the way, is in our next match.
Well, yes.
Cage match. Shane McMahon, Strowman. Took all of about, 30 seconds into the match before interference? So much for a cage match, stopping interference.
Yeah.
They got to get that chair in the cage somehow.
And I don't know, as far as Shane and cage match, that wasn't his best cage match.
Well, no, I mean, normally he's jumping off of something. I think that's not the first time, but it's been a while since he's gotten thrown off. But I don't know. Strowman ripping the cage. I don't know. Let's just be happy that's over and hope it doesn't go anywhere, because we endured weeks of Shane calling Braun stupid, and that's the stupidest reason. There you go. Stupid reason for two people to have a match of any kind, let alone a cage match. So
yeah.
Then we get to the big celebrity match.
Oh yes, Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny and Damian Priest
versus The Miz and Morrison.
I'll let you talk.
Wow. I was actually kind of shocked to see Bad Bunny kid wrestle.
Well, he has been training for months.
He's been training
for
but,
months. Yeah. Oh,
but he learned quick. I thought it was going to take him a little longer.
I didn't think they were going to give him as much as they did in this match. I knew he'd pull off a couple moves. I knew he would want to show off his training and show that he's actually put the work in, unlike some people. Shaq, we're looking at you. But, wow, that was impressive. People are calling it probably the best celebrity debut match in history, and I can't really disagree.
Yeah, it was probably the best match of the night.
Now, I mean, there's going to be some people out there, and Cornette, we're looking at you, that aren't going to like the fact that he did so good in this match. And it's going to look like if this rapper can come in without an athletic background and do it as good as other people, then anyone can. But that's the thing. Anyone probably can if they train and if they're athletic enough. And clearly, if he was able to pull the moves off he did, he's athletic enough to pull off the moves he did. So he's got to be
I don't know.
athletic.
I've never checked out Bad Bunny's music. I wonder if he's active, kind of like flip guy when he's on stage.
I don't know. But what I can tell you is I can't do a Canadian Destroyer.
No.
And I'm maybe bigger than Bad Bunny. So, yeah, he's got athleticism. He's got to. Anyways, I think it was an impressive debut, and it was actually a pretty good match. And let's give credit where credit's due. Miz and Morrison made the guy look like $1 million. They did a great job putting him over.
Yeah.
Damian Priest got, his little monster friggin' offense run there, and then of course Bunny takes the win. But no, very good, well done.
Yeah.
Now people are going to be wanting to see Bunny wrestle more and more, and the guy's probably gone for a while now. He's on tour, as we know, and we'll talk about in night 2. But
yeah,
hey, they did the same thing with Pat McAfee. He wrestled and he blew everyone's mind, and he shocked the world with how good he was, and then he disappeared. And that's probably the right choice, because if we see him, and the same with Bunny, if we see them every week doing this shit, then it's not going to be impressive anymore.
They're just another wrestler at that point.
Exactly. So then we move on to the main event. The main event of night 1. And people wanted this.
Smackdown Women's Championship match.
People wanted this for many reasons. People wanted the women to main event WrestleMania again. And that's what they should have done. And one hell of a match, too. It was a good friggin' match. Very well done. They deserved the main event spot. Forget this first time ever bullshit, because it shouldn't be a point. It shouldn't be a first time ever. It shouldn't be such a big deal that 2 black women are main eventing WrestleMania. It should be 2 great wrestlers are main eventing WrestleMania. Exactly. And that was I seen it was a good match. It was an emotional win for Belair. Montez Ford came in the ring to celebrate with her, who's her husband in real life, and no, it was good. Hopefully they don't screw her up now, because they made themselves a star that night.
They did.
So, that was night 1. Overall, I thought it was a pretty damn good show. I could have done away with the turmoil match. I kind of drifted on that one anyways, so, they call that spot a cool down or a letdown spot for a reason, and it cooled me down. But the rest of the friggin' pay-per-view picked up, and it was a good show. You have any final thoughts on night 1?
Well, I thought it was more of an average show overall.
Well, if you compare it to WrestleManias in the past, well, then yes. But
like even last
I have to say,
even last year's WrestleMania was better.
No, I don't agree. I have to say, just the fact that there were live fans again alone made it better. Because last year's show, although there was some good stuff, it just didn't feel big. It didn't feel. It was a show. It wasn't WrestleMania. It wasn't the show. It was a show without the fans. We are the fans. We're 2 of the fans. We know.
I thought it was a good show.
It's a much better show with fans.
Well, yeah.
Especially since it meant we didn't have to listen to those fake ass crowd noises pumped in, and a bunch of screens, friggin' that weren't jiving with the sounds we were hearing. Those people were not doing the things we were hearing. So yeah, I don't know. All in all, I thought it was pretty good for a first night of WrestleMania. Forget about the fact that at this point we had Raw, we had TakeOver Night 1, we had TakeOver Night 2, we had a SmackDown, and by this point, anyone that was watching it all was just probably done with wrestling. And I imagine I would have been too, but I didn't watch Raw, I didn't watch SmackDown. So, it is what it is. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is night 1.